Howdy. I'm, I guess, John Galt, or the Woodsman of Gulch, whatever you want to call me. I'm just some dude. I'm going to the woods for like 5 months. But anyways, this is my gear. I had another video that I made at my apartment before I moved out, but I accidentally just deleted that. I'm new to using this camera and this whole YouTube thing, so this is my second video for YouTube, but really my first because I deleted the first. Anyways, what I'm going to do is go over the gear that I have prepared for my trip to the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness. I'll be putting it on Moose Lake as soon as the ice is up, and hopefully that's in a couple of days here, next week sometime, not a few. But yeah, so this first here is my shelter slash clothing pack. It's all going to be going into this Grand Portage pack made by Frost River. On the sides here I just have some extra contractor sized trash bags which I use to line my food pack. I have a Grav Grips selfie stick, a Epicure, or however, Epicurean, whatever it is, from Boundary Waters catalog fillet board. And I have two poles for the Lean Plus tent, as well as Paragus, or however you pronounce her name, liner for the pack here. Alright, so looking at shelter, I have a Lean Plus from Coast Custom Sewing. I have two tarps from them, one 8, if I recall correctly, 8x10 and 12x14, 10x14, something like that. Either way, one smaller, one larger. And then I have an Enlightened equipment quilt here. Love this quilt as opposed to a sleeping bag. It's got like I think it's the Enigma model, but it's very light, a good down filling. I love it. And this stuff's going into this stuff sack. Sorry, sleeping bag's not going into the stuff sack, but the tent tarps are. And this CCS Ridgeline stuff sack is what I use for the sleeping bag as well. The sleeping bag did come with a small stuff sack, but I found it difficult to stuff the sleeping bag into that stuff sack. And also I felt like it was more prone to be damaged in the stuffing process as opposed to having a single portion of the bag as opposed to with the CCS bag where it's double length here. And you can stuff in the sleeping bag in the full length and then compress it down more evenly and then follow up by pushing in this top section here. So following from that, I have the ground cloth for the CCS tarp. I hope I'm still in frame here, or for the Lean Plus. Hope I'm still in frame here. I have two packs here. These are both ropes with pulleys for hanging the food packs from the trees to prevent them from being taken by bears. This is stakes as well as assorted ropes for setting up the tents and tarps. I'm hoping that I'm able to fit this in the pack. I need to do a repack to see if I can get in there, but this is a Fox Outfitters, I don't know, maybe it's Ely, whatever. Either way, it's a hammock. And this is what I'm going to be wearing on the day in. I might take some more gear from here, but this is like the base of it. I have some Keen, I don't know, hiking sandals. Some kind of neoprene webbing here. I don't remember the exact model. I don't think it says in here. But yeah, basically just a hiking sandal. Because I do wet foot in the canoe, I don't bother trying to keep my feet dry. It's a futile exercise. I have some Philson oilcloth pants, along with suspenders. Willpower t-shirt, Willpower underwear. I don't remember the brand on this, but handkerchief. Really like these handkerchiefs. Good handkerchief will last you a lifetime. Some Philson socks and some Willpower sock liners. So moving from there to the rest of my kit here, I'll have 3 more dry sacks. So I have the one compression sack for the tarps and tents, and then I'll have this here in another set of compression slash dry sacks. So I have there's a flannel, some smart wool, I don't remember the exact weight, 400 maybe weight, thermal underwears, Peloton sweater, a outdoor research vest that's supposed to be temperature regulating. We'll see how that works. Just kind of like a scarf thing that my buddy gave me. Some Willpower underwear, another Willpower t-shirt, a couple of pairs of long or heavy socks, one pair of medium weight socks, 2 pairs of 200 weight smart wool socks, so again medium weight, some sock liners, and then just a few regular ankle height socks there. As far as pants go, or I guess leggings, whatever you want to call them, A couple of lightweight pants here, one better for on the water, one better for going to the brush, both made by Orvis. A pair of Orvis shorts here. Another pair of Philson pants. These are, I think they're shelter cloth material. Either way, a little bit lighter than the oilcloth material there, but I'm hoping that both of these provide some waterproof or water resistance in case I get caught out in a storm while I'm out in the canoe and I don't have access to my full rain system. So this is to complete the quilt bag there. Hopefully I'm not terribly in a terrible spot in the frame here. But either way, this is the inflatable mat. So the quilt style sleeping bags, they are supposed, in order to get the temperature rating out of them, they are supposed to be used with mat systems. So this is a Thermarest Ridge line or something like that. Either way, just a standard gray foldable pad. This is going to be riding on the top of the pack, and that's why I have it in a dry sack there, just to kind of keep it protected from the elements. And then this is the inflatable pad portion. Sea to Summit Etherlite XT long. So this is pretty neat. The stuff sack itself acts as a pump to pump up the stuff or the air mattress, so you don't have to get your breath into it. But it does use the, I don't remember the technology, but you basically blow into it from a distance and it fills up the sack and then you compress it down. So it still does get some breath into the bag, which is not ideal due to introducing potentially bacteria and moisture. But either way, that's the air pad. Really comfortable. Love it. Honestly, I was sleeping better on the pads with the sleeping bag than I was on my mattress before I put that in storage. By the way, this is the sack for the sleeping bag, just because when it's warmer weather, I'm probably not going to be using that sleeping bag every day, but I don't want it to be sitting compressed, so I'll just be tossing it into this cotton bag. I have just a flat sheet. This is going to be used kind of as a liner for the quilt. I didn't want to go with like a mummy style liner because that kind of defeats the purpose of the freedom afforded by a quilt as opposed to a mummy style bag. And it's also going to be providing some versatility to my sleep system. So when it's really warm, I could just sleep with this and not have to worry about being overly warm in the sleeping bag. And I do have to go along with that sheet there. Don't know if I'm in frame here or not, but on top of another bag, I'll be carrying this stuff sack here, which has a smart wool, I believe it's smart wool, wool blanket. You know, olive drab, looks like an army style blanket, but it just rolls up really conveniently. It's nice to toss on top of here, and also for if I want to have a blanket when I'm not inside my tent. I don't really want to take my sleeping bag outside the tent and risk it getting damaged. So I'll take that wool blanket and I can sit out at the fire, out at the rocks if I'm taking some pictures. So from there I have a couple of light shirts for when the weather's warmer. I'm really a big fan of these style shirts. These are Guide Series, I think they're both Guide Series Columbia or something like that, Pro, PFG, whatever it is. Either way, I'm a big fan of these styles of shirts. Moving on from there, I have a Philson rain suit here. So this is a little bit bulkier than I would normally take up for a rain suit. However, being up there as long as I'm going to be up there, I don't want to be completely tent bound if I get hit by a thunderstorm. So this is just going to provide me with some more robust protection from the rain. In addition to this, I am carrying a single just Gore-Tex top. I didn't bring the bottoms. I'm kind of relying on the waterproofness of the pants just in case I need some waterproofing while I'm out and about. And I'll have that stuffed into my thwart bag here. I just have that out in my car in case I get caught in the rain while I'm out and about in town. I have a pair of flip-flops here, mostly for showering or if I need to get up in the middle of the night or something like that. Just some extra denim here in case I need to do any repairs out in the field. So like my packs or pants or anything like that, denim is a pretty versatile material for sewing things that don't need waterproofing. If, you know, I have repair materials for the sleep pad and the tents and the tarps and stuff like that. This is more for repairing clothing or packs if those happen to wear out. I have 3 washcloths, 2 of these microfiber towels. I use these at home to try it out, and they do a really good job being fairly small but still operating almost like a full bath towel in the fact that it can get you actually dry. I do have one of those in my hygiene kit here. I do have one of these small microfiber towels, but really those while they do work, they're not really that great for drying yourself off. In my experience, I wouldn't want to be using it to dry myself off for 5 months. I'd use it for, you know, like a 1-week trip or something like that, but some things are worth sacrificing. I have 2 of these here, just in case one starts to stink or so I could use it for other purposes. And then I have just a stack of handkerchiefs here. I'm a fan of handkerchiefs for blowing your nose, but also they work well in a pinch for, you know, if you need an extra rag to clean something off, or for wound care. I had a buddy, last time I was up there, 5 years ago in Boundary Waters, hatcheted himself in the leg on the first night, and we used handkerchiefs throughout the duration of the trip. He'd boil them daily and use those to wrap his wound. So last thing that's going into this bag here, I think I've got everything, is my Hygiene Kit. So my sister got me this. I quite like it. I think it's Eddie Bauer. But either way, mirror here, toothpaste, some shaving, not shaving cream, aftershave, some petroleum jelly, an extra toothbrush, the towel that I already picked out and showed you. I will have a electronic toothbrush in this slot here. I have some Gold Bond here. In the front I have floss, a detangling comb because I have a mane, some eye drops, Q-tips, a couple extra toothbrushes for the electronic toothbrush. On this side here, stuff to control my mane, you know, just clips and hair ties and stuff, and then also like scissors and fingernail clippers for maintaining some hygiene out there in the field. Don't want to have long fingernails and accidentally puncture a dry bag or something like that. And also need the scissors to kind of maintain them out around my mouth so I don't eat whiskers for 5 months. And then in this side here I just have a travel shave brush, safety razor, and some razors. Just so that I can shave my face occasionally while I'm out there. I enjoy a good shave, more for the cathartic experience than it is for the actual getting of a shave. Okay, so that is all for this pack here. I will pause this, cut, and we'll get to a new bag.